Hi, I'm Jesse. Welcome back to my channel, JaffyDuck Productions. Today we are going to be recapping, reviewing, and discussing Arrow Season 6, Episode 13, The Devil's Greatest Trick. And in this episode, Caden James discovers a secret about the Green Arrow that pushes him over the edge. Knowing everyone and everything he loves is in danger, Oliver must decide if he can do this alone or if he needs to be turned to his old teammates for help. William starts to demand more of Oliver's time. Alright, as usual, if you haven't seen this episode, go check it out before you listen to this review, because it will be filled with spoilers. Alright, let's just jump right into it. So, we start off this episode with Arrow and Spartan checking out a abandoned Caden James facility. And in this facility, they obviously find nothing to indicate where Caden is, and nothing like that. So, they get a call from Caden James. They try to convince him to give them more time, that they will have proof that Oliver wasn't the one that murdered his son, and that his son was murdered, not just collateral damage in something. So, Caden obviously doesn't give them that time. He decides he's going to detonate the thermobaric bomb at midnight. So we cut down to Quiver and our little mini hackers in it. I will call her a mini hacker because I keep forgetting her name. Some people call her Felicity Light. To me, she's just Minnie. I honestly don't know why she's still here. I don't know why they're trusting her to help with all this, but they are. So, she's the reason Caden's out and yawn crazy. Anywho, so, cut to Caden breaking up his crew. They're all done. Everything's happening. The city will be destroyed, burnt down to ashes. They're going to get their own shares of the ransom money paid out by Oliver. So that's at least $70 million split between 1, 2, 3, 4 people. What's that? Sorry, I'm trying to do quick math in my head. It's a little less than 20 million each. And that's, let's say he got 8 days into it, so anywhere between 8 and 10 days, that's anywhere between $80 to $100 million, which is a $20 million to $25 million payout. That's if they all split it evenly. It could be done otherwise. Anyways, yeah, so he promises them an airlift, stay in one position, keep your phones on you, so they can find exactly where you are. And then we cut to a flashback of Caden James. It's Caden James when he first meets Minnie. It's an interesting little flashback. I instantly guessed one of them is going to die in this episode. It was the exact same with the Black Canary and the Vigilante flashbacks. So it's Caden James flashing back, meeting Minnie, and then going to meet with his son after a game. His son and him are tense. He's divorced from his mother. His son knows that he has some sort of group. Caden assures him that this group does good, and that's why he leaves. Like, he transferred $50 million from a company that was doing genetic testing on animals, they're an animal company that produced biological weapons or something, or produced a drug. Anyways, bad people doing bad things, all their money just disappeared. That's obviously what puts him on the radar. So he promises his son will be there for the championship game the next night. He promises. So, yeah, we cut right on back to... Now, I didn't actually write this down in my notes for some reason. I can't remember if they cut right to the Caden's old group or Black Canary, Dinah Drake, taking down a bunch of Caden's men. So, I'm going to go with the Dinah Drake first, though. Dinah Drake takes down a bunch of people. She's beating it's some great shots of her just kicking ass. Anyways, from there she interrogates one's like, alright, do you know where he is? Do you know where Black Siren is? Because she wants to kill Black Siren for killing Vince. Not just Kate and James, but Black Siren because she's the actual one. Anyways. So she's on her revenge. Curtis and Renee show up. They try to talk her down. They got a message from Felicity. This thermobaric bomb's going off in at midnight. We need to all get together and figure something out. So finally, Curtis and Renee are thinking straight. They should have done this kind of thing last episode. That's besides the point. So we cut over to Caden's former crew, let's call them. This former group of villainous people. It seems Anatoly is very trusting of this pickup, while Richard Diaz, whatever he's going by, or Ricardo Diaz, whatever he's happening to go by, he decides he's going to find his own way out. Black Siren follows along with him, and last one to leave is Anatoly. So we understand that. Actually, I'll get to that in a moment. One last note before we leave Caden's former accomplices. Yeah, the airlift obviously is coming. Even in the flashback, he showed drug dealers, people running stuff, people being villainous. He worked against this. This absolute revenge that he doesn't just want to take out on Oliver, but the city. He would have been a much different person. Alright, let's get back to our heroes. So, we're back down in the quiver. Minnie and Felicity figure out how to get past the, not so much encryption, but remove the information? No, remove, that's a little hard to say, I'm trying to figure it out, sorry. They remove the editing done to this video. So it reveals him as a Mr. Carl Isaac. He's a paid assassin. Bo is not his normal MO. He was obviously paid that to make it even look more like Green Arrow killed his son. He's dead already. Whoever paid him, he was assassinated himself. And yeah. So they try to track down Caden. Caden's not really hiding where he's moving because it's not as important to hide him as it is to, well, he can get away and they can't catch him. And he's driving away? Where's he driving to? I thought every exit to the city is gone. So, I don't know, maybe it was further up the road so he can watch the explosion. He's far enough away from the blast radius. But why aren't they moving everybody there? Anyways, this is just bigger headache. Wow. That was I had a mini stroke there, don't mind me. So, Green Arrow calls in favor with the Flash. It's gotta be the quickest Flash moment that they've had in here. Literally was just the lightning. You didn't see anything at Barry. John didn't throw up. He doubled over and he almost, but he didn't throw up. So Caden automatically assumes that they're here to get information out of him, blah blah blah. He shows Caden the information. He makes Caden watch his son being murdered again. Just the look on his face when he said he wasn't going to watch it again actually broke my heart. Like, he's crazy, and any sane person would have just went after Oliver and Oliver's reputation. That's what I would do. I wouldn't want to kill an entire city. If somebody killed somebody I love, I'm going after them. I want to destroy them first before they die. Yes, but to kill an entire city over it, it's kind of mind-boggling to me. Anyways, that's a little off topic. He sees it, he looks at the meta information about it. It was still sent from within his organization, so he does have a traitor involved. So, his idea, his grand scheme is he's going to go back in. He's going to wait at an undisclosed location until they have all three of his his lieutenants, let's call them lieutenants, all three of his lieutenants in custody and bring them to him. Because he's fine with blowing up the city. His whole plan was to ruin somebody and blow up the city with that person in it. So he's still going to get that person any way he looks at it. So we cut back to the arrow quiver, and Minnie is playing the devil's advocate. I very, very much suspected that it was her that was the traitor. She set this all up, not only to bring down Oliver and Felicity, who she might blame for the fall of Helix, to also bring down Kate and James, who rejected her. So both of these, to me, are both very solid possibilities. So, anyways, Will comes in. He's brought in by Thea. Reza's not brought with him, and at this point, why aren't you trusting Reza? Like, she looks after your son. She must suspect something. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you're not trusting Reza, and to bring Will to the safest place, but not Reza as well. That's kind of hurtful, Oliver. Kind of hurtful. But Will's there. He has some absolutely terrible lines. Like, he's been going up since the mid-break, and after they got back, they've been going up, going up, going up. And to me, it was definitely the writing. Like, this kid looked uncomfortable with what he was saying. And if your actor feels uncomfortable with what they're saying, it goes back to the writing. Maybe it was the direction he was given, but in my gut, it says that was the writing and not the actor, because his emotional tones he tried to put behind it felt right. Some of the looks on his face he gave felt right. It just, that writing felt flat, and that's Ruby level garbage. But it does pose some questions here about his character. He's really into being down. He wants to be with his father. He doesn't think, will he be the new Speedy soon? Maybe a Robin style training next season or towards the end of this season. So I really want to see some sort of training with Will. Maybe it starts off as self-defense and it leads into him trying to do his own brave thing, and then Oliver catching him, trying to stop him, catching him again, stopping him, and to a point where he's like, alright, you're coming with me, but you're going to be prepared. I'm going to train you. You are not going out on the field until these conditions are met. Kind of like what he did with Roy, but maybe even a little better. Like, he's done this enough with Roy and Black Canary, the original, no, second Black Canary. People that haven't had previous training, keeping them off the field, making sure they're fully trained, or trying to. With the second Black Canary, he just refused to try to let Laurel be a hero, so there was all that. Anyways, let's move on. They call the outsiders. It's Diggle this time, passing on the information. Renee picks up the phone. Says, "Hey D, what's up? Where are you at?" And Diggle replies, one of the best lines, "Different kind of D, Haas. Sorry, John." Specifically, like, I don't think I've ever heard Renee call anybody by their first name like that. Maybe Oliver, but yeah, sorry, John. I've definitely never heard him call him John. So it's always Haas or something. And it's just, yeah. So after this call, they just all decide to go after Laurel first, because really they need to. If Kaden wants her alive, they need to find her before Dinah does, because Dinah Drake will kill her. So Black Canary does find her first. They're fighting. Quentin steps in, tries to stop the two of them. Instantly KO'd. And before you know it, I think it's called a bolo arrow or something like that. Like bolos wrap around. Anyways, not only does Oliver do that to Black Siren, he also captures Black Canary, just to not have her kill her. Which, by the way, Dinah, could have just brought down the building on everybody and been done with it. So at this point, they let Black Siren out after Oliver talks her down. They get talked down. She takes a jab at Oliver, and then I believe about Vincent's death. She takes a jab at Oliver about that, and then we cut to. So the way it works is the outsiders decide to go for Ricardo Diaz, Richard Dragon. I don't know. I kind of like Richard Dragon, just saying Richard Dragon, but his name is Ricardo Diaz. Maybe I'll call him Ricardo Dragon. Switch it up a bit because Dragon's awesome. Anyways, the outsiders go capture Ricardo Diaz. Holy shit, does he go down easy. He just out. And great shot of Curtis being a hero, like one of his very, very few, if not first, solo hero shots from Curtis. Now, standing over the bad guy, arms folded. And the guy that plays him, he's big and like he's physically tall and he's decently broad. Like he is like an intimidating person, but he plays such a good, essentially nerd, that you forget it sometimes. And yeah, now the fight with Anatoly, Team Arrow goes after Anatoly, so it's him and Spartan. Take Anatoly down. Really, there's only two guards. Scares the helicopter that was coming from Anatoly away. Capture Anatoly. Him and Oliver have a cool discussion, and then Oliver just clocks him, knocks him out, and they take him. And that left Black Siren and Quentin, one that wants to keep her alive, one that wants to kill her, to watch over Black Siren. Sorry, Black Canary and Quentin to look after Black Siren. Even when arguing, these two have a great chemistry. Like, it was very much respect for one another when they're on the same side, but like the just anger at one another as well. It is compelling, and I want these guys to have more scenes together. And it's not quite as creepy as the kind of lovey-dovey chemistry that John Diggle and Dinah Drake have. Whew. Like, that's more than sisterly some days. Anywho. So, a couple other key points from this. We've got Black Siren using the metahuman dampening colors from Earth X on Black. Alright, sorry, I'm going to just call them Dinah and Laurel from now. Dinah's using the colors from Earth X on Laurel. This can stop me from confusing the names way too similar. So another part is Will's constantly hovering over Felicity's shoulder, trying to watch what she's doing, watching what Arrow's doing. And the last part is the line Anatoly says before Oliver knocks him out. Or at least one of them. The city is about to be Creta. If you want to put me in prison, out of town, please. Make it out of town, please. It's just funny. And that was my god-awful Russian accent. I promise, next time I will have to do one, I will get my little brother to do it because he is so much better. So, after everybody's been captured, Oliver has Felicity put him through to Caden. Caden answers, gives the address to where he's at. Caden is currently literally sitting with the bomb and promising to make sure his son lived up. Of course, our little fellow Will immediately heard the line. He knew exactly where it is. I heard the address, sorry. Now, for some reason, Felicity's contacting somebody. Sorry, no. Felicity contacts the outsiders, while Thea contacts Quentin. And then, I don't even know what Minnie's doing. Like, she had to go task some satellites or something. Anyway, so none of them are paying attention to Will, who was, by the way, playing with an arrow earlier and giving more terrible lines. And please just stop. Like, A, this was predictable. A, B, I really like it. Not so much for the reasoning, but I really like that he snuck out to be with his father. But yeah, literally put on the giant, bright flash backpack and went there. So they all start to arrive. Oh, before that happens though, Caden has another flashback. He's back there at his son's game. Before he left, Minnie warned him that there was chatter on the Argus scanners that said he was going to be picked up. So, he went anyways because he made an oath to his son that he would try better, and he kept that oath. Standing outside the game, I think he might have been worried that he'd be caught. So, he decided to stand outside the game, and big glass windows along a gym. That's kind of strange to me. Anyways, so he's standing out there watching his son play, and the Argus agents come up and he's like, alright, can you at least like handcuff me, let me finish watching my son's game, and I'll come along peacefully? And they're like, nope, you're coming with us. You're either coming nicely or coming by force. Alright, guys, this is a hacker. You pat him down, you make sure he's not carrying any fucking tech on him, and then you cuff him, make sure you can hide it, and let the poor man watch his son's game. You're going to be keeping him for a while. Do him a solid. And he's really not doing, he's doing illegal stuff. He's not doing awful stuff. Like, you're a freaking Argus. You do the far shadier shit than taking down a drug company that's peddling like drugs on the street. It's just mind-bogglingly frustrating, and fuck those Argus agents right up their ass with the thermobaric bomb. But he kept his oath. Sorry. So they're all coming in. Quentin and Dinah are outside. Dinah goes to inspect everything. Quentin's trying to get through to Laurel. Laurel's trying to dissuade him. We cut to, they're all in the room together. But before they get there, Will shows up, runs to Oliver. Oh, my head hurts from these lines. I'm going to just blow right past it. And so he's here. Caden's very polite. He introduces himself. He's very formal. He's gone a little, but he has that nice even tone when talking to somebody younger. I appreciate that he chose to make that acting decision. It worked really well here. Anywho, so he goes on a rant. Very good monologue. But it was another monologue. He does them well, but he does them a lot. So a lot of it kind of just went right over my head. Laurel admits to it, and yeah, but as she admits to it, they realize there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the bomb, something wrong with the detonator, something's not right. So as Kay and James gets closer to her, A, decks Laurel, B, the signal off his transmitter interrupts with the signal on her metahuman collar, and it completely disables it. So she's free, screams, knocks Kaden out. He drops the trigger. It was a beautiful, beautiful show of power. That power was amazing. So let's cut through a couple of these quickly. Great line from Renee. Oliver's a walking death trap. Wild Dog isn't quickly disarmed by Anatoly after talking about traps, and Anatoly's like, has a nice quip, talk about a trap, and gets the gun away from him. So some great fights. Dinah versus Laurel. Lance intervening, Laurel getting gut shot. Diaz versus Spartan, and then Anatoly versus Wild Dog and Mr. Terrific. But yeah, a note there is they did a lot of Laurel screaming and very little of Dinah screaming. I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this. I don't know if it was VFX budget or if it was a choice for her character. I'm a little worried, but I'm going to just go with it. So we cut back to the main room. I'm not entirely sure where Oliver went and all that, but his son's maybe alone. Maybe he was knocked out a little bit too, but Will went for the detonator. Kane James had lost it. He got back up and he was standing over Will. Oliver gets up behind him. He's like, "Will, give it to him." He grabbed it. A very good dad moment. He asked his son to trust him. And in that moment, Caden was going to press the button. He goes, "Stop, press the button." And Oliver, holding his son, immediately grabs him. Just not even moving from this position, like huddled, and throws it, gets him in his arm, and then he comes at him with a arrow. "You're under arrest." He made sure he captured Caden James alive. And anyways, so we cut down to the quiver. Of course, this hasn't really changed anything. They lost all three of these villains, so Black Siren's missing. Mind you, shot in the gut. She wasn't going anywhere. Ricardo Diaz and Anatoly are all gone. They're just in the wind again. But they've stopped the bomb. They've stopped Kate and James. And yeah. And Dinah decides to leave because she's pissed off. She's going to go out looking after Laurel again. And Oliver stops her. And he literally stops her and says to her, in like just a caring, heartfelt voice, "Dinah, you are better than this. You are better than this." And it looks like it actually affects her. And yep, so the teams are still separated. A little too much animosity there. Like, I didn't feel like they felt like they were going to get back together because they just saved the city. But I guess they felt like they were expected to get back together with them. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah. Anywho, we cut over. They're leaving. And yeah, we cut to Caden James. He is in a cell. Oliver comes in to speak with him. Caden James seems a little sorry. Caden James seems to be back to his old, like, stop, think, calmly self. Back to his senses. He gave Oliver the way to get the money back, gave locations to where those three might go, and yeah, he tells Oliver to be a better father. Cut back to Argus agents. They show him, like, he was shown being held in that weird container, still blindfolded. Anyways, an Argus agent comes in, takes the hood off, apologizes, says his son is dead, and he says he's truly so. Too fucking late, man. I know you regret not letting him watch that one last game, but fuck you. Fuck you. But yeah, we cut over to Lance and Laurel. Lance saved Laurel. She's shot. He's being kind of creepy, kidnappy kind of thing with her, which is weird. And then we cut over back to Caden. We're back to Caden in that one interrogation room. Camera in the top left-hand corner turns off. For some reason, it had a nice glowing red ring around it to say it was recording. Well, it's currently off. And in walks Ricardo Diaz, Richard Dragon, Ricardo Dragon, whatever you want to call him. And he makes some great points. In Caden James coming, he has fractured Team Arrow. Oliver Queen is under indictment. City is primed. He primed for takeover. He knew Caden would fail, and if he didn't fail, he still got paid. Arclight thinned the herd, so now he owns a lot of people in both the government and the captain herself. The new captain of the Star City Police Department is under his control, and under his payroll. So this harkens back to that episode where Caden had those accidents happen, and a certain what was it called? A certain counselor was killed, who appeared to have had good relations with Oliver Queen. So I'm assuming somebody that's been on his side, and the old captain was killed. And I theorized that they were targeted, potentially targeted, but didn't make any sense with Caden James targeting them. There's absolutely no reason for Caden James to target these people, but there would be for Ricardo Dragon. There would be a reason for him to target these people. If they moved key players out and added new players in that were under his payroll, it worked perfectly. This city is primed for a takeover, and he's ready to take it. Like, why destroy a city when you can own it or rule it? I can't remember his line. I'm sorry. Now, unlike every other person revealing his masterful, he kills Caden James. Straight up kills him. Like, stabbed right about here, severing an artery in his neck/shoulder, and yeah, Caden's dead. And he's like, say hello to your son for me. And yes, I killed your son. Oh, Ricardo Dragon was the person behind it at all points. I love this. I was not one that predicted it. I'm going to do another shout out to Jawin, Jason Inman. I do watch his reviews as well. And yes, he called this like 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that it was going to be, the traitor was going to be Richard Dragon. I really never saw that coming, but I saw, like, I don't know enough about comic book history, and I know a lot of people were frustrated that Richard Dragon was being as underused as he was in this season, so this justifies all their behavior for it. Anyways, next few weeks, Arrow will be off on a break, so will Supergirl for the next. Supergirl's going to be gone for a long time, but we get Legends back. Yes! I can't wait. Whoa. Aren't you forgetting something, Jesse? Sigh. As for a rating for this episode, it's a definite 4 out of 5 arrowheads. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be adding that. Flash is on a break as well till the end of the month. Technically, Arrow's off to the beginning of next month, but Black Lightning and Legends are going to still be around. I will start up a review for Legends of tomorrow. I will also continue my reviews, recaps, and all that for Black Lightning, and I'm going to definitely be filling in something. I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to do up a video over the next few days, just discussing all the trailers that were released during the Super game, and discuss those trailers and some of the ones that really popped up in me. I'm going to put that in This Week in Geek. I might do some prediction videos, not entirely sure yet, but actually, why don't you help me out here? What do you guys want to see on my channel in our slower few weeks ahead? I'm looking forward to a few slower ones as opposed to 4 a week, but that's only because I have to do this review on them. Anyways, as always, I'm Jesse. This is JaffyDuck Productions. Thanks for watching. Love ya. Good night.